Hey, what is going down, guys? Talk Norwich City here, back for another video. In today's video, I've got a roundup of our pre-season so far. I'm going to be talking about the two games we've played, the transfers in and out, and also the upcoming transfers that I think will happen. So our first game was a 1-0 win against Dereham Town, local opposition, non-league opposition. Would have liked something slightly more convincing, I must admit, against Dereham. But we won, a clean sheet, a goal from Kyle Lafferty on his debut. A really nice little finish actually from Kyle Lafferty, half volley, nice little head back from Michael Turner, and he knocked it in to the net. And Kyle Lafferty's actually looked really impressive this past couple of games. When we brought him in, I wasn't too convinced. I'd heard sort of mixed reports about him. He's known as a bit of a hot wire to handle, often seen like going away for a week without really telling the club. So I was a bit worried. Obviously, only 2 games in, we can't really tell much from that against the opposition we've played. But he scored 2 goals, and he's looked very good. Another great performance from Josh Murphy against Dereham. Really impressed. Also, Sebastian Besson didn't even feature in the 21-man squad that we took to Dereham. He was instead playing for the under-21s against Boston. So I think Besson will certainly be leaving this summer, and I'm not too worried if he does, to be honest. The next game was last night. It was against Braintree, a convincing 6-1 win. 2 goals from Ricky Van Wolfswinkel. Is he back? Obviously, it's hard to tell. It was against Braintree, and one of them goals was the easiest goal I've ever seen scored. The keeper sort of fell over the ball, and he just ran it into an empty net. But no, nonetheless, 2 goals is bound to boost confidence. He looks really happy, actually, to be at Norwich. His tweets and everything are very, very positive. I've heard off a few sources that he's loving his time at Norwich at the moment. It's just whether the club believe in him. I'm not sure if they do 100%, but with time, hopefully they give him a chance. He'll hit the ground running in the Championship, and you never know. We might see a revitalised Ricky Van Wolfswinkel. Lafferty with a stunning free kick. Good to see Andrew Sermon back. He might play a part in next year. Not too sure, but he did score a goal. Bradley Johnson as well with his right foot scoring, which was interesting to see. And also Nathan Redmond, who I really, really hope we can keep hold of, because I think he's going to really do well in the Championship next season. His electrifying pace just needs to get a bit more technical ability with his crossing and his shooting, but except for that, he looks like a fantastic player. Also, Josh Murphy, again, stunning performance from him. Really looking forward to see him in action in the Championship next season. I think he's got to hit the Championship by storm, and the young man, I think he's going to do really well. Also, they're the 2 games rounded up, 2 wins, 7 goals. Couldn't ask for anything more, really. The tactics look half decent. I think Adams is settling into the job really nicely, and hopefully we can just get the foundations set for a good season in the Championship. But the foundations were slightly ruffled. Joe Royal left last week after being with the club about 2 weeks. And I got a lot of stick on Twitter, actually. I put that we need to replace Joe Royal ASAP. I didn't mean replace him directly with another person. I just meant replace his jobs at the club. He was obviously brought in to help Neil Adams. It was evident last year that Chris Hughton had way too much on his plate, hence why we brought in a lot of extra staff to help Neil Adams this season with everything behind the scenes. Joe Royal was brought in for a reason, that's obvious. Admittedly, he probably wasn't doing that much, but he was doing something. He was helping out Neil Adams. I am a massive believer in setting the foundations really strong and then building from that. If the preparation isn't being done right, which I'm sure we will get that done. But Joe Royal left, there was obviously a bit of there was a few holes in the preparation when he's gone. We need to sort that out immediately. Not a massive thing to sort out. It's just it was a bit. I felt a bit uneasy when I saw that he'd gone back to his boyhood club, Everton, after just a few weeks. So replace Joe Royal's jobs at the club immediately. Fer and Redmond have both been linked with moves away. It looks like Fer will be going for a rumoured £5 million. I can't believe that's all we're going to be getting for him. I really would expect Fer to be pulling in at least £7 million. I think he's a class player. Admittedly, he didn't have the best season last year, but he's worth more than £5 million. Really hoping that we can bring in a bit more than that if he does leave. Also, Redmond, really hoping we don't let him go. he didn't even touch the surface with his performances last year. I know there's so much more to come from Redmond. He's a really hot young prospect, and I hope we can keep hold of him. Hooper linked with the move away as well. We all expected this. I don't think we're going to be able to keep hold of Hooper. I would love us to. I'm not actually sure if he's 100% committed to the club. I think he wants to be playing Premier League football. QPR have rumoured to be the club to get him. I hope we pull in, again, 7 million for Hooper. I think if he plays in the Championship next season, he'd score 15 plus goals. Ross McCormack, if he's worth 11 million, then Hooper's worth in excess of 7 million pounds. And it's been a decent pre-season so far to round things up. 2 wins, as I said. I think our transfers this year have been very well managed by Neil Adams. He seems like he's done a lot of research on Graben and Lafferty. It seems like he's not rushing into anything, which I think Houghton maybe did do on occasions, and that's why we had a few flops last year. I think Adams has got everything right so far. Just really looking forward to seeing the foundations being built further throughout this pre-season. We're going away to Italy in a few weeks, and then 2 home pre-season games before the start of the Championship season. I hope you're all well. Please leave comments on what you've thought of the pre-season so far. I've been TalkNorwichCity, and peace out.